What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. All right, guys, it's starting up, man. Listen, this game is going to be huge, and I highly recommend, if you have not done so, go pre-register now or start playing the beta, or sorry, I should say the alpha, which you actually end up keeping all of your results if you decide to actually play. I do recommend you play. And with that being said, I want to help you guys start off on the right foot and give you the best possible ultimate beginner's guide to help you through everything you need to know about this game. So first off, King Arthur's Legends Rise is a turn-based RPG with a ton, and I mean a ton of content. So let's start off with what you should be doing. We're going to focus on every single thing that you should start with, and then we're going to talk about all the different values this game has to offer in regards to how to build characters, how to team build, what to do, where to go, etc. Right? There's a lot to cover here. So first off, when you start the game, there is a tutorial. Get the tutorial done, complete that. The next thing, once you've done the tutorial, you're going to have opened up the story mode. Now, story mode is massive. There's a main story and there's an adventure story. The difference between the two is the main story will let you only have a taste of the actual real storyline, which is incredibly voice acted and well put together. Follow King Arthur and all of his associates and Knights of the Round Table along while he goes and tries to stop evil Morgan from conquering the world. There are 10 full chapters here for you to go through. You will love every single one of them, I promise. And once you finish the normal mode and you've completed that, you can go on to hard mode, get additional loot, and then eventually go to hell mode. Now, I will tell you this right now, there is quite a bit to explore and quite a lot to do. Getting 3 stars is the best thing to do because it gives you a ton of rewards that you can get along the way, and you meet all the characters in cast. Now, most of these characters in cast you can also summon, so there are bad guys you can use and good guys you can use. It does not discriminate. So make sure the first thing you do, guys, is go right through the storyline, and once you've unlocked a certain part of the story, you will then unlock adventure, which actually even expands the story even further. You'll only get about 20% of the story when you do normal main story mode, but then when you go back to adventure, you actually learn more about side quests, you find chests. It's like an actual open RPG for you to go explore and meet more of the characters, plus get a ton of loot along the way. So plenty to do with a lot of good rewards and help you grow your account without spending too much money. Now, I will say this, the summoning system is pretty damn crazy. So there are the rate up summons like most of the banners. There is a pity of 60, by the way, and there is a 50-50 chance. So if you lose the first 50%, you will get a chance to get the main character you're summoning for on another 50%. That's how the rate up summons work. You will use a different currency. There's special currencies right here, but you can also use your actual diamonds or crystals in this case. There's the normal summons. In normal summons, just so you guys are aware, you get 3 free a day. There's only common to rare. We'll talk more about the rarity of characters. And then special summons also exist where you can summon any legendary character as well, with a pity of 60 as well too. So the pity is fairly generous. And you guys can see here, I've got 13 out of 10. I'll show you how the summon looks. You guys can take a look and see King Arthur's hand touches Excalibur. He lifts it, and you guys can usually tell by the animation what you're going to get. I'm going to let you guys know now. The rarities go from uncommon to rare to legendary. There is no epic in between. Now, I'm going to talk more about characters very soon for you guys, so you guys understand how they all function, and the fact that all characters in this game actually have a place in this game, and every common rarity all the way up to the legendary rarity can be used to maximum potential to finish the game. So there's no discrimination between rarities. There's just better stats. All right. And as you go further down, you have relics, and I'll talk more about relics. They're an important part of the game. They're essentially your weapons for your characters to change their elements, so every character has viability, again, with every piece of content, as long as you have the relic pieces. All right, we'll talk more about that very soon. Again, that is the summoning section. So do your storyline, collect this, get your summons. While you're doing your storyline, you're going to unlock Camelot here. Camelot was going to start off very minimal stuff in it. Eventually, you're going to advance and get more things and unlock more of the town. You guys can see there's a little bit of a castle building, but it's very simple. You just simply collect your stuff, click on this little icon, and then you can build. Super easy. There's really not much involved. It's not a real castle builder, so to say, right? It's not like a SimCity kind of builder. What you'll end up doing, though, is you will collect a lot of these things along the way, but while you're new, do the Knights Training Camp. This will give you the basic training with rewards along the way, including summoning tokens, and then do the advanced ones and get yourself a special summon ticket at the end of it all. And don't forget, every single day, guys, do your dailies, okay? So dailies will appear here. Sorry, let me go to them real quick, right over here. And they're called missions. You guys can see there's daily missions, weekly missions, and monthly missions, which all give you a ton of resources and special summoning tickets. So this game can be fairly free to play friendly, but overall, you got to put a little bit of effort, right? And it's worthwhile doing every single one of them, even if you are at 100%, because they'll give you things like stamina, etc., right? So you guys can see here, for example, this one will give me stamina that I'm looking for. So if I find an equipment that I need to maximize on, or even level up, I just got to go through it, find something that I can level up, and then go from there. So very important, guys, to put effort into the actual systems, and make sure you look at all the dailies to maximize on it. Now that we're on the topic of loot, let's talk a little bit about equipment, and then we'll go into the character building, okay? Equipment is actually one of the most important parts of this game. Your characters do require them, and there are very there's about, I think, maybe a total of 12 sets, maybe even more, and each set does something different, right? And you can tell by the character by clicking on their equipment and then looking over here. For example, this is the speed set. Speed gives you 30% more attack speed if you have 4 sets equipped. You can see their little icons there, the little lightning icons. I've got 4 of them equipped, and you can see right over here, this is my set right now. I've got the critical set and I've got the speed set. So gear drops from story mode, normal, hard, and hell. Gear drops from actual bosses, and we'll talk more about the bosses as well too. And there's actually dungeons where gear is available. Gear is like any other game, has stats, right? They have main stats and then substats, and you can level all those up. And then they also have the enhancing material where you can level up gear and get more stats out of it. Now, the beauty of gear, it does range from 1 star all the way to 6 stars and go from uncommon all the way up to legendary. Okay, so you guys can farm gear fairly easily in this game, and it does actually help quite a bit in terms of leveling up. The beauty of gear also in this game too is in the mage tower, you can actually use, sorry, not mage tower, the forge, there it is. You can actually change your stats on gear. So if you get a piece of gear that you really like, but let's just say 1 stat is off, you can actually put that in there and actually go ahead and start changing those stats. So for example, if I don't want defense on this one and I want to change it, you guys can see here, if I click change, look at this, boom, critical damage instead. Right? So there you guys go. So beauty of this game is any piece of gear can be valid by changing the stats on it, and it's very easy to get the material and super nifty to do. So making farming gear a lot more easy and viable in this game. So gear is a super big part of this game, and one that you're going to have to definitely do. Now, let's talk about the units. Units are very important, obviously. Every unit in this game matters. Every unit. We're talking about going from all the way from uncommon all the way up to common and rarity to legendary. All of them will have a place in your team, and they can all be used. And that's one thing I love about this game. The difference between, of course, legendary, rares, uncommon, and common is their passives. Legendaries get 3 passives, rares get 2 passives, uncommon will get 2 passives, and common gets only 1. Let's find a common unit here. Let's go all the way over to the end. Right over here, you only get 1, okay? But every hero does have 3 skills, and that doesn't change. All right, now every unit also has something called a relic. I'm going to show you guys real quick. So let's say this unit here, which is an uncommon unit, is a common unit, has a flame rod on here with 3 different skills. Well, if you summon the relic, you can actually change this unit's relic over to ice and use the ice element, allowing them to be useful on bosses who are weak against ice. Right? And you can go back and forth between these relics. Different relics do different moves and have different effects. So relics are a big part of this game. They can also be leveled up, advanced, and gone even further. All right, so relics play a major role. Now, with characters, couple things you can do. We talked about equipment already. In the info section, you can level up characters by using up the hero power-up section. Right here, you get potions. You can advance characters to give them more stats and unlock additional equipment that they can wear. You can awaken them, allowing them to have further stats, and again, unlocking more accessories. You can level up their skills. In this case, skills are their passives, and then you can also give them chivalry, which is going to be the dupe system. So you guys can see here, if I dupe this character, they get either new passives, new skills, or new stats. So very important to note that. So characters are going to be the biggest part of this game, obviously. And if you click the hero overview, you can see a lot about the character, who they work well with, which faction they belong to, etc. And that actually plays a big role in this, because it allows you to team build much easier and allows you to know which units are going to give you the best effects in what fights. So you guys can see, look at this, all of these extra things that are available to you to review and see who they work well with. Okay, so very important to note that. Now, outside of that, there's a couple of different things. We talked already about summoning. We already talked about story mode. There are massive amount of events going on. Now, the main thing with events is you always want to save for them, because events have different things. So for example, this one here is a relic power-up boost event. So this is reach relic 15 one time, I get myself this reward. Reach relic 30 one time, I get this reward, right? And as I play this game and as I follow the instructions, all of these extra rewards will be handed to me as I complete these. So you guys can see here, 30 stamina, right? So rewards are always going to be based on the event. When you are done an event, do not use that currency anymore. Save it for for the event when it returns, so you can double dip into those rewards even further. There are summoning events, there's spend gold events, there's spend crystal events, there's kill monster events, there's complete storyline events, there's arena challenge events. We'll talk more about arena very shortly, etc. So events play a major part here and give you a ton of rewards along the way. And then of course there's the achievement section right here. The more you achieve in this game, the more this chest will grow. You guys can see I'm level 31 in this chest, 27% complete, and you will get rewards from this chest along the way. I'll show you guys right now. This one gives you 150 stamina, and you guys can see what the rewards are as you go along. Look at this legendary chest, some tokens for summoning, more tokens for summoning, tokens for raring up your units, or sorry, advancing your units, giving them dupes, etc. Right? So there's a lot here to offer. Achievements play a major part in this game, guys. So make sure you do what you can to do so. Now, let's go back 1 second before we go any further. There is the equipment crafting as well. Let's just say you don't want to farm your equipment and you're not getting what you want. You can, of course, craft equipment of your own choice, right? It's going to require certain elements from certain bosses that you're going to have to collect, but nonetheless, it is available to you to craft. And again, remember, when you craft something, you can, of course, go back and then change the stats if you don't like what you got. So very important. Now let's go into the shop. The shop is kind of pay to win, kind of free to play. This account is definitely a pay to win account. I'm doing a lot of testing. I mean, I want to make sure I give you guys the best information, but the prices range from about 99 cents all the way up to $139, depending what you're looking for. This game can get very expensive, but can also be very cheap and can also be very free to play friendly. So don't stress. You can get a ton of currency here, guys, to help you get certain rewards along the way. So for example, this is my special clan rewards here, or forbidden tokens from the forbidden shop, which is the tower system. We'll talk more about the game modes very soon, and I can use these to get a lot of these rewards here for free as long as I'm playing the game, right? So there's many things to purchase here, but there's also a lot of free stuff to collect along the way. Now let's talk a little bit about the restricted area. This is where all of your farming outside of story mode is going to happen. All right, so this is going to give you massive amounts of bosses to fight. There's bosses here that give you material that allow you to advance. There's bosses that'll drop EXP and gold. There's bosses that gives you relic information or material, and then there's bosses that give you relic advancement materials. From here on in, you can go over to the equipment dungeon and fight insane looking dragons and collect yourself equipment. All three of these will drop the different sets. This one drops attack, critical, and speed. This one drops defense, life, and drain. This one drops corrosion, immortal, and strife. And you can click them and see what each one does, and see which one fall under your category of farming that you want to do. So very important. Clan raids. When you join a clan that is a guild, you guys will be able to do bosses together as a guild. Try to beat bosses. The more bosses you kill, the more rewards you get, and then you can spend these coins right here in the guild shop and get yourself a ton of cool rewards. And also make sure you log in and always claim everything for your clan in order to level them up. The higher level, the more you get. Forbidden Dungeon. This is a tower game. This is where you're going to get a lot of your free rewards. So make sure you do this. This one over here, you guys can see, has different floors, and you guys can like benefit from killing this boss. For example, gives you this forbidden token, gives you guys a special summoning ticket, some resource chests for your town, as well as more tokens to do more of this. There is a limit of 5 out of 5. It does stack, so you can get 11 out of 5, for example, in my case. And there are a lot of floors, guys. So make sure you take a look at this and try this out. This is where you're going to be spending a lot of your time, and you get a lot of rewards for doing so. Favorite dungeons. This is where you're going to actually go ahead and advance a lot of your skills, and this is where you farm this. A ton of bosses, a ton of loot, and this is all used for advancing your characters. So make sure you focus on here, and if you have a character you are focusing on, make sure you collect the proper favors for them, because every single unit belongs to a certain faction, and those factions need to be collected. And then last one is Sealed Temple. Now this is where you fight a boss called the Cernonos. I think he's the something of death, I forgot. Oh, Master of Death. And then there's the Master of Apocalypse here, which allow you to use these relics and books to level up your skills and advancing your passives even further. So a lot of content, guys, so much content to do, and actually a lot of fun at the same time. So make sure you focus on that and get that done. Now, a couple other things to note. There is a Royal Road, which is a beginner's path to getting a lot of loot. Follow this, starting with everything you want to accomplish here, will give you a lot of rewards, such as tokens to summon, free equipment, free advancing materials, crystals, etc. And as you progress through this, you'll get yourself a free rare to legendary summoning token, and this applies to all of these roads. So make sure when you do unlock them, start doing them. It's absolutely worth it. And then Path of the Pioneer opens up when you finally open up your town, and you can build more things. So a lot for you guys to focus on, a lot to do. Now the Coliseum is your PvP. This is a whale PvP mode. You guys can see here, I'm 42nd right now because it just restarted. You will fight opponents. You can choose who you want to fight against, and then you will go up in the rankings. There's no limit to how much you can PvP. You can PvP unlimited amount of times, so allowing you guys to focus on if you want to be a PvE player or a PvP player, it's up to you, or a mixed bag of both. You can come in here and do this anytime you want. There's currently an event going on. The more you PvP, the more rewards they give you, and the rewards are actually really good. It's free stamina essentially, right? Speaking of stamina, it does refresh, okay? You guys will get stamina boxes for free once in a while. Your stamina should be focused on finishing mostly your farming, leveling up your characters, and then focused on completion of anything that is related to advancing your relics and advancing your actual unit themselves. So you guys can see here I ended up winning, and then you'll see I'll go up in ranks here. And then you guys can collect chests on a daily basis. All right, so very, very important. Season rankings are going to give you a lot of different rewards. Plus, you get buffs based on your rank in PvP. So it's going to help you advance even further. All right, let's take a look and see what else I want to talk about here. We talk attendance. Make sure you log in. The first 30 days, you actually get quite a few good rewards, including a few free legendaries. Absolutely worth doing. So make sure, guys, if you haven't done so, download the game and start doing that now. The Codex. There are a lot of characters. A lot of characters with different things. So for example, there's units that are attack units, there's defensive units, there are control units, etc. Right? So you're going to meet a lot of units along the way. There's the legendary units right here. You guys can see them all. Here are all the rare units, right? You guys can see them right there. And again, you can see what elements you have collected for each unit by seeing their little relic section right here. For example, this unit has wind and ice, but I'm missing fire, etc. Right? So this will help you understand what relics you should be summoning for and what you're looking for along the way. Plus, the more you collect, you also will get yourself some crystals for free as well too. Now, like I said, this game is semi pay to win. You guys have to understand that there will be pay to win elements in this game, especially for the PvP part. The PvE part, not quite as much. You can focus on just story mode, completing it, taking your time and doing all the extra stuff along the way, but it does have a PvP element to it, which of course will allow whales to conquer. So just remember that when you are playing. But right now, guys, I think that pretty much gives you the overview you need. In case you have any comments or questions, let me know. Guys, this game's going to be big. There's going to be a support program as well, which I'm going to sign up for. Make sure you guys go and support your boy if you plan to play this game. I'll talk more about that when I get into it. And then go pre-download, check this out. I'm going to be doing a ton of guides, plus tier lists, plus everything else along the way to help you improve your account and get better while you play King Arthur's Legends Rise. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.